I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
This is KUGAN CASSIUS Rifle TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. It is Joshua Franklin fight night. It was just in there to see Joshua with a dominant points win over Jermaine Franklin. Have you had a good night?
Hello. I've had a great night. Is this my first? No, it's not my first interview with you, is it? We definitely did one on the
red carpet.
We did one on the DAZN launch, and I was like, "Who's this freak?" I'm joking. Just for the benefit of the viewers, I really like him. How was tonight?
I'm a gooner as well.
Exactly that, and I like you for more for that. I enjoyed it tonight. I thought it was good. I think there's like a slight hesitancy because everybody kind of wanted a knockout. When they didn't see it, they were a bit disappointed. And I felt like the kind of mood of the O2 was really lifted at the beginning. The ring walks were amazing and everything felt brilliant. And then maybe like the first round or two, it felt cool and you thought it was building up into it. And then it kind of flattened a little bit. So yeah, I guess everyone wanted the kind of Grand Slam finish and didn't really get it. But a winner's a winner, I guess.
I think that is a very accurate description of the night. And I think now kind of it's over. I think it's a case of job done for Anthony Joshua and it's kind of moving on from there. There's plenty of positives to take from tonight. That's what everyone's been saying and I can see that. But yeah, I think his first fight back here in however many years and coming off the 2 losses to Alexander Usyk, people were kind of crying out for a stoppage or a knockout win, which we're used to seeing from Anthony Joshua. But like I said, it is what it is and we move on from it.
Yeah, we do move on for it. I mean, look, I had a great time. It was fun. It was watching Tony Bellew nearly get in a fight with...
What happened? I spoke to Tony Bellew about it. He did give us his version of what happened.
Wait, what was his version?
Do you know what? I genuinely can't remember what he said because he came in mid-interview with Eddie Hearn and all I could hear him was go, "What the fuck, lad?" And he was explaining something and yeah.
Well, I was sitting ringside and I was next to Barry. Barry was to my right and Tony was to Barry's right. And throughout the whole fight, Tony does his usual, hello. Tony does his usual where he's like, barking to AJ to tell AJ how to win the fight and all that sort of stuff, which I love it because then I just sit there and take notes and I learn quite a lot from him. But then at the end of the fight, there was obviously whatever happened. Fight ends, a little bit of like, whoa, inside the ring between AJ and Franklin's trainer, and then out of nowhere Tony Bellew's up like a cat and then Tony Bellew's in the mix and then I couldn't see it because there were just people everywhere and there was like loads of security and stuff like that, so I don't think anything was ever going to happen, but Franklin's trainer almost like literally just came over the ropes, like out the ring, and I was like, fuck me, like, excuse my language.
So IFL, you can do that on it. Were you commentating on this at the time or kind of analysing? No?
I wish I was. Imagine that. It would have been so amazing. But no, I wasn't. No, I was just about to go into the studio with Tony. So then Tony then took himself off to the studio. And to get there, you leave ringside and you walk back up over to the stage behind it. And then I just sort of stood there a little bit more, just waiting to see if there's any afters. And there weren't. And then got up onto the stage and he's as calm as anything. Like, I think it's just like in an instant. I don't think it was anything like...
Handbags?
Yeah, I would say so. There were loads of like security rounds, so nothing was ever going to happen. I think they just got a little bit uppity. I'm not sure what sparked that with Tony. I'm not really sure. Maybe Tony was just being defensive of AJ. I don't know really. Funny though.
He's very defensive of a lot of people, and AJ is definitely one of them.
That about him though. That's what I love.
Very passionate.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
Very passionate. Would you like to see a potential fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury next?
Yeah, I would. I've been a little bit burnt by that. I think most fight fans feel a little bit burnt by that, about what happened last time, and a bit cautious about getting their hopes up perhaps. Dillian White was on stage and was so up for it. He so wants it,
He looked a bit aggy tonight, Dillian. I was behind him at ringside and he looked a bit aggy and agitated. Like,
what do you think that was?
He wants that fight with Joshua. Do you know what I mean? He wants that. It was his first loss however many years ago in this very venue. Yeah, I mean, I interviewed him before the fight, about an hour before the fight, and I was contemplating whether to put it out or not, some of the stuff he was saying about Joshua. But obviously in true IFL fashion, we did put it out.
Of course you did, yeah. I quite enjoyed your one with Chisora, by the way, the other week. And I can see what he means now. For God's sake, I feel I'm going to headbutt you in a minute. I'm joking. It's not
By the way, In my defence, could you see the microphone in the clip?
No, I couldn't. It was very funny.
It was here. This was the distance.
And then what was it? I missed you, man. Like, I've missed you. That was the best bit of the whole thing. He's here, actually, isn't he? He's just there somewhere. What was that? Oh yeah, Dill. So at the end, I did say to Dillian, I said, as somebody that wants to fight AJ next, what did you make of it? And he was very confident. He looked at it, and I think he kind of was like, look, I can get in there and I can do a job on him. And I think a lot of people wanted to see a little bit more aggression, less caution from AJ. So perhaps that's why Dillian looks at it and thinks that wouldn't be the way I approach it, so I could have a go. I don't know.
Very accurately put. No, that was very accurately put. Yeah.
You asked who I'd like to see next, wouldn't you?
Well, I said, would you like to see the Tyson Fury fight with AJ? I think we're almost bored and not bored at the same time of kind of repetitively talking about this.
Do you know what I said on TalkSport the other day? What I would really love, just because of the circus that's been around Fury's potential last two fights, Usyk and then before that AJ, I would love for a decision to be made, for no hype at all, and then for a date just to be dropped. That would be so refreshing. Like, none of that normal sort of war of words over social media or any of these different things. I would love for the promoters to just get together behind the scenes and then just go, right, here we go. Fury, Joshua, here's the date, that's dropped. Like, the lack of hype would be more hype, if that makes sense.
Here's a question for you. Do you think if Simon Jordan was in charge of negotiations for Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, that his ego would make it happen?
His ego? I don't know. Can you get anything done with an ego?
Everyone's got a little bit of an ego.
Of course, yeah. Especially people in the media. We all have egos, don't we, Cougs? Huh?
Absolutely.
We all have
I hope
egos.
he wasn't implying anything my way. Who wins out of Simon Jordan and Eddie Hearn? They're talking about this. I think they should do it as a charity kind of contest. No?
No, I think they're both gentlemen. They're not fighters. Well, actually, Eddie actually fancies it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Eddie really does fancy
He
it.
told him he wanted to slap him when he came on the radio the other day. Yeah.
I feel very torn in this because me and Eddie go back a way long way. 2009 when I used to work on the darts, by the way, when I joined the darts team. That was Matchroom, that was Eddie, that was Barry. And Simon Jordan has been one of my friends for a good 5-6 years as well. So I really respect both men. Who would win in a fight? I don't know. I'll prefer to sit on the fence in this one. But I think if you're saying as well, would Simon get the fight on rather than Eddie? No, I don't think this has got anything to do with the promoters, genuinely. I think this has got to do with the fighters. I think you talk about ego, like you're talking about heavyweight boxers with the biggest egos, the biggest following in the world, that all think that they deserve a certain piece of the pie. I'm not sure how much it's the promoters on this at all, but what do I know?
I see your point. But I do think it has a lot to do with who's in charge of your negotiations, as well as obviously the fighters. Eddie Hearn actually said, like, if he wants to make the Tyson Fury fight, he's willing to kind of just talk to Frank Warren's lot, leaving the fighters out, and then go to the fighters and say, right, here we are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So who do you think's holding it up then?
I can't comment on such things.
Why? You're asking me to comment.
No, because I'm the interviewer. So.
Yeah, but I'm not an expert. I'm just here for
You
fun.
know enough, Woods, don't you? Last one.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say. You're asking going to win the league.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, where's Jamie O'Hara? I really wanted to meet him tonight.
Jamie O'Hara is in, I think it's called the Green Room, somewhere up there. He is here, isn't he? But he's not allowed backstage anywhere. Hi, Jay. I would have loved to see him. I wanted him to come down. Oh, chunky boy.
He's grown on me because I used to listen to him, and literally his views on Spurs used to fucking drive me mad.
Let me tell you something. Jamie O'Hara is a gift for a presenter because he will never sit on the fence. He will give you a strong opinion, doesn't matter what it is. And I love the way he says it with his chest. He also, personally, is such a great guy. I honestly, I love Jamie. I love hanging around. He's so entertaining. He's so funny. Big heart, but unfortunately, he's Spurs.
To be fair, he does take his licks, as we'll say. He does come on in Spurs' kind of troubled times after Conte was whatevered and after multiple defeats that Spurs have had this season. He does come on and face the music.
You've got to be quite brave to stick your neck out in the way that Jamie does, because in this day and age, everything gets clipped out. Everyone's going to see it. There's a clip going around on me at the moment it was here. Was it here? It was at the boxing 18 months ago, and someone from the crowd went, "Who's going to win the league?" And I was like, "Not Arsenal," because at the time I can't remember. It might have even been after we'd had 3 straight losses at the beginning of the season. Remember Brentford, City, Chelsea.
At the start of last season, yeah.
Yeah, so it might have even been around then. So I was like, "Oh, not Arsenal." And now that clip's doing the rounds now, and obviously It's completely out of context. So that's what can happen, and Jamie's well aware of that because I remind him of it every morning when I get a clip from wherever and he says, Spurs won the transfer window. Now it's too low. Are you all right? There we go. Spurs won the transfer window. Conte's here, he's a winner. Spurs are back. I play it so much. He hates me for it, but he takes it with like such good spirit. So, you know, he's great to have around. I'm glad he's grown on you. He grows on everyone.
He has, to be honest with you. I do find him comical. Probably because we're doing better than them. That's probably what it is. I've kind of,
What you mean is he's not bothering you as much anymore.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Are we going to win it?
How many left? 8, 9?
9, but we have to win 8 out of the 9.
9 cup finals. Actually, we've got 4 points spare, I think, because there was 5 points between us, right? So.
Well, it's 8 at the moment. They've got the game in hand.
Yeah, but assuming that they're going to win that one, 5 points. Who is it? Do you remember the game in hand?
Yeah, we thought one of their tougher games was going to be today, and Liverpool rolled over. So.
No, when they went 1-0 up, I was like,
Watch them turn it on next week.
I know, for us, typical. And Chelsea as well. Chelsea losing to Villa, guess what? They'll turn up for Arsenal. I think it's too early to say. Genuinely, I think that is. I feel like it's probably going to go down to the last game or the last 2 games. It will be absolutely, hello. It will be painful for all of us. I don't know who that is. It will be painful for all of us, and I'm not going to enjoy it. But I wouldn't. No, look. Let me put it this way: if you ask me if they're going to win the league, and if I said yes, then if I back myself that much, I'd have to put my house on it, right? And I wouldn't put my house on it, so I've got no idea. So,
Arsenal can still be Arsenal.
yeah, because we're all burnt from like the last how many years since 2004? We're burnt from that. I've seen worse things happen. I do believe it's a completely different mentality. I do believe that, but it's City. You've got a juggernaut chasing you. That's won the league.
Haaland or no Haaland.
Well, exactly. They didn't do it. They didn't need him today. 4-1 against Liverpool. It was flipped like 4-1. I don't know. Who knows what's good? What do you think?
I am more panicked about the Liverpool game at Anfield than I am about the City game, to be honest with you.
Do you remember when we used to go to Anfield a couple of seasons ago, maybe like 4 seasons ago, and you used to get turned over like 5-1, 5-0,
That was that could have been last
It wasn't
season.
actually that long ago, was it? I remember having very, very many painful experiences at Anfield. So don't put it in my head. Why?
No, come on, let's talk confidently. I'll take a point. I'll take a point now at Anfield.
Would you take a point at Anfield and a point at City?
100%. We don't even have to beat City. We just got to not lose. Okay, Laura, thank you very much for your time on IFL TV, and we'll see what happens in regards to Anthony Joshua's next move, and we'll see what happens in regards to our beloved team's next move, which is Liverpool away next Sunday.
Are you waiting for AJ now?
Waiting.
Look at this. Look at the baying mob. Look at everyone. Hello. Oh, flipping heck, it's Jason Bell. Hello. Look at this. Jason Bell from NFL fame. Giants.
We filmed something,
Yeah.
Jason. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, Laura, thank you very much. I'll let you get back to the rest of your crisps.
Here you go. How about the left one? Should we shake that one?
Thank you very much.
Refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,